Hello everyone. AIDS is a disease which is caused through a HIV virus. Formation of abnormal cells. What is the difference between benign tumor and malignant tumor? This is the reason why there is no proliferation of cells or multiplication of cells. Here you can see there is uncontrolled cellular growth and the cancer causing cells are called carcinogens. This removal of malignant tumors by surgery. Welcome back to session 8 of this very important chapter called Human Health and Diseases. Myself, B. Shobharani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysore. What did we learn in the last session of this chapter called Human Health and Disease? We studied about AIDS. As we know, AIDS is such a dreadful disease, which is a disease which is transmitted through sexual contact. And we also studied about the causes of the reasons for AIDS and what are the measures that need to be taken to overcome this dreadful disease. So, what are we going to study in today's session? Today's session is also very important session. Why it is so important? Because we are going to study about a very important disease called cancer. All of us know that day by day this disease is just spreading and this day by day we come across that many people are suffering with this deadliest disease called cancer. So what are we going to study in this particular session? We are going to study about what is cancer, how is it caused, what are the reasons for cancer, and what are the proper treatments that is given to overcome this deadliest disease called cancer. Right. So moving on to the first very important concept of this very dreadful disease called cancer. All of us know that cancer is one such disease where the exact cause or reason for the disease is not known. For example, like AIDS. AIDS is a disease which is caused through a HIV virus. But cancer is one such a disease. Why do we call it as a deadliest disease? Because the exact cause for the cancer is not known. That is the reason why this disease called cancer proves to be fatal. There are a good number of reasons for the cause of cancer. Now let us understand what is this cancer all about. So what is cancer? It is a condition it is a condition where uncontrolled cell division results in what? Abnormal growth called cancer. That is, there is rapid multiplication of cells or proliferation of cells leading to an unlimited growth of cells leading to what? Leading to a process of leading to the process of formation of a tumor. So, uncontrolled growth of cells leads to cancer and uncontrolled growth of cells leads to what we call it as tumor. So as I said, cancer is one of the most deadly diseases of human beings. Why it is called deadly disease? As I said, the exact cause for the cancer is not known and many human beings are suffering from this disease and a number of deaths also is taking place because of this deadliest disease called cancer. That is, cancer is one of the most deadly diseases of human beings and it causes number of deaths all over the world. What are the common types of cancer we come across in India? The most common types of cancers are the mouth cancer, throat cancer, uterine cancer, cervix cancer, right? So all these are the common types of cancer we come across. Like we have come across blood cancer, right? So all these are the types of cancer which is quite common in human beings. So what is cancer? How is it caused? Cancer is a deadliest disease. Why do we call it as a deadliest disease? Because the exact cause or the reason for the cancer is not known. And what is it characterized by? It is characterized by unlimited growth of cells, proliferation of cells, leading to what? Leading to a mass of cells, aggregation of cells or mass of cells, which we use the word called tumor. And as I said, cancer is one of the most deadliest diseases of the human beings and obviously it causes, when it is not diagnosed at the earliest stage, it definitely proves to be fatal, and many people die because of this cancer. And what are the most common types of cancer we come across in our country? Like cancer of the mouth, throat, uterine, and cervical cancer is very it is very common in females. This uterine cancer and the cervical cancer are the most common type of cancer which the females are facing nowadays, right? So what is cancer? A condition where uncontrolled cell division resulting in abnormal growth of cells is called cancer. And what are the most common type? Mouth, throat, uterine and cervical cancer. We can see this, see the symbol for cancer. I think you have come across in the last session, the symbol for AIDS was what? Red ribbon. Here it is pink ribbon, right? Next, general characteristics of cancer. So as I said that cancer is due to what? Unlimited growth of cells, multiplication of cells, rapid growth of cells. What are the other characteristic features of this deadliest disease called cancer then? First and foremost is called anaplasia. What is that? Formation of abnormal cells, abnormal mass of cells. Abnormal, as I said, the cells will keep on multiplying, forming what? Abnormal mass of cells. That is, it exhibits what? Anaplasia. Next, neoplasia, that is uncontrolled cell division. There is no control of the cell division. Cells keep on multiplying and new cells are formed, forming what? Forming an abnormal mass of cells, which we use a word called tumor. Right? And very important is contact inhibition. Contact inhibition is nothing but arresting of cell growth. Arresting of cell growth when cells come in contact with each other. Cells, that is, it is nothing but what? Contact inhibition is what? Arresting of cell growth when cells come in contact with each other. But this property is lost in a cancer patient. That is, normal cells show a property called contact inhibition, by which contact with other cells inhibits their growth. For example, you come across the normal cells will not allow the more new cells to be formed around it. So it will inhibit the process of formation of new cells around it. But in case of cancerous cell, it will keep on multiplying and it will not stop the multiplication of cells. That is what I said. That is, the very important is the cancer cells will not exhibit what? Contact inhibition. You can also call it as a wonderful or a very powerful anti-cancer mechanism. Contact inhibition is called anti-cancer mechanism. It is called anti-cancer mechanism. So what is contact inhibition? Arresting of the cell growth when cells come in contact with each other. This is the property of the cells, to arrest the cell growth. So whenever, as I said, whenever new cells are formed, the neighboring cells will stop it from multiplication. But in case of cancer cell, it will not allow it to stop multiplication and it will keep on growing and growing. And what will it form? It will form what? Abnormal mass of cells. So cancerous cells appear to have lost contact inhibition. That is what I said. They lose the property of contact inhibition. And very important, they exhibit a property called metastasis. What do you mean by metastasis? Not only, so in whichever origin they are formed, the cancerous cells are formed, they don't remain localized there. They keep spreading to the other areas. And that property of cancer cells is called metastasis. So what is metastasis? They spread to different parts of the body through blood circulation. So what is the other very important property? So next, what is the first very important characteristic feature of cancer? That is anaplasia, formation of abnormal mass of cells leading to what? Leading to the process of formation of a tumor. Neoplasia, there is no control of cell division. So there is rapid multiplication of cells leading to what? Abnormal process of formation of a tumor. Contact inhibition, they lose the property of contact inhibition. Normal cells will have this property. property, but whereas a cancer cell will lose this property, that is the arresting of the cell growth when the cells come in contact with each other. So as I said, and one more very important property of cancerous cells is they don't remain localized. They keep on spreading to the other areas and will start disturbing the normal functioning of the other organs also. And as you know, they start spreading to different parts of the body through blood circulation. That is what I said, metastasis. They spread to different parts of the body through blood circulation. These are all very important characteristic features of cancer. Here you can see here normal cells. See how you can make out here the normal cells remain in their own position, right? Here you can see the abnormal cells, and these abnormal cells will start multiplying like this. So the neighboring cells will not stop the multiplication of these cells, and here you can see how there is a rapid growth of cells, and they are malignant or invasive cancer. What do you mean by malignant? That is, they start spreading to the other areas. See here, they start spreading to the other area. They don't remain localized. They keep on spreading to the other areas and will start disturbing the normal functioning of the other. As I said, see, if somebody comes and sits in your place, definitely you will be disturbed. So in a similar way, the cancer cells will come and start invading the other areas where the normal cells are functioning, and even it is going to disturb the functioning of the normal cells also. That is a very important characteristic feature of cancer. So first one is what? First very important, anaplasia. Next, neoplasia, that is uncontrolled cell division, multiplication of cells. Next, they don't exhibit the property of contact inhibition, and they exhibit a property called metastasis. That is, they don't remain localized. They keep on spreading to the other parts of the body through blood circulation. Now let us see, as I said, there are two types of cancer. One is called the benign tumor and the second one is called malignant tumor. So what are the two types of cancer? So two types of cancer. So you have understood what is cancer. What is cancer? Cancer is nothing but unlimited growth of cells, right? And as I said, the exact cause or reason for cancer is not known. And we have already come across what are the characteristics of a cancerous cell. What are the types of cancer? There are two very important types of cancer. One is called benign tumor and the other one is called malignant tumor. What do you mean by malignant? So when we come across these two, we can say that this benign tumor causes less damage, and this is going to cause major damage to the body. Damage to the body. Right? So this causes less damage and this causes more damage to the body parts. Now let us study one by one. What are the differences between a benign tumor and a malignant tumor? As I said, benign tumor remains localized, that is, it will remain in the same place where it has originated. So it remains localized. So wherever it is originated, it will remain in the same space. It will not start invading the other areas. It is not going to spread. But whereas the very important characteristic feature of malignant tumor is it will not remain localized. So wherever it is formed, it will go away from the place and it will start spreading the other areas. As I said, it is going to cause what? Damage to the other body parts also. So other than that, what are the very important differences between benign tumor and malignant? This is a very important question which is asked for 2 marks in your question paper, PU board question paper. What is the difference between what is cancer? What are the types of cancer? What is the difference between benign tumor and malignant tumor? So moving on to the first one, that is benign tumor, they are localized. As I said, what do you mean by localized? Wherever they have originated, they remain in the same space. They don't keep invading the other area. They don't spread to the other areas. Whereas here, they spread to the other parts of the body through blood. So they keep on invading and start surrounding the other tissues and do not show metastasis. As I said, they don't, particularly the benign tumor, the cancerous cells will remain localized and they will not start invading the other areas. Here you can see they show metastasis. What is metastasis? As I said, they keep spreading to the other areas through the blood circulation and will start invading the other areas, surrounding tissues, and will start disturbing the normal functioning of the other cells also. And do not show rapid and uncontrolled growth. So when compared to the rapidity of or the multiplication of cells, the benign tumor cells are less, that is they don't multiply to such an extent which you come across in malignant tumor. So they also multiply, but not to that extent what a malignant tumor does. So they do not show rapid and uncontrolled growth. They are harmless. So benign tumor are harmless. Here show rapid and uncontrolled growth. Not only they multiply very fast, there is no control over the division of the cells, and they keep spreading the other areas. They don't remain localized, they keep spreading the other areas and start invading the surrounding tissues, thereby damaging and even disturbing the normal functioning of the other tissues. So that is a very important characteristic feature of the malignant tumor. They are harmless. Compared to malignant tumor, they are less harmful. They are more harmful. Why they are more harmful compared to benign tumor? Because they start spreading to the other areas and they will start disturbing the normal functioning of the other organs. Obviously, if one organ is disturbed, the normal functioning of one organ, as you know, in our body there is a link between each and every organ in our body. So if one organ does not function properly, it is going to disturb the other organs also. So usually you might have come across cancer people die because of multi-organ failure. This is a very common thing which you come across in a cancer patient. That is, they usually die because of multiple organ failure, because they keep on invading to the other organs and disturb the normal functioning of the other organs, and obviously the body will be affected. And as I said, they show contact inhibition. As why they are less harmful compared to malignant tumor? To some extent they show contact inhibition. That is why I said they do not show that much rapid uncontrolled growth, and they lack contact inhibition. So as I said, contact inhibition is an anti-cancer mechanism, or what is it? It is a property to arrest the cell growth when the cells come in contact with each other. So these are the very important differences between the benign tumor and the malignant tumor. So what is the first very important? What are the two types of tumors you come across? What is tumor? First of all, it is nothing but abnormal mass of cells, or unlimited growth of cells will lead to what? What do you call it as tumor, right? What are the two types of tumor you come across? Benign tumor and malignant tumor. Now let us see what is the difference. So they are localized. What do you mean by localized? Wherever they have originated, they remain in that particular place and they don't spread to the other areas. Here they spread to the other parts of the body through what? Through blood circulation. Through blood circulation. Here they do not show metastasis, that is, they don't spread to the other areas, they don't invade the surrounding tissues, but here they show metastasis. From the site of origin they move away and they start spreading to the other areas and start invading the surrounding tissues. Compared to malignant tumor, they show less rapid uncontrolled growth. That is, they are less rapid and they don't multiply to such an extent what a malignant tumor or a malignant cancerous cell does. And they are harmless. Here they show rapid and uncontrolled growth. So there is no control. That is the reason they keep on spreading to the other areas. They are they are harmless, but they are harmful. And they show what? Contact inhibition, and they lack what? They lack contact inhibition. So these are the very important differences between the benign tumor and malignant tumor. This is a very important point to be noted. As I said, this is quite commonly asked in the examination, right? Now, differences between a normal cell and a cancerous cell. So far we studied about what is cancer, what are the two types of tumor, that is the benign tumor, what are the characteristics of cancer. Then we studied about the differences between benign tumor and malignant tumor. Now what is the difference between a normal cell and a cancerous cell? How do we, with respect to functioning of a normal cell and a cancer cell, how does it differ? Here we can see, as I said, cell division is a controlled phenomenon. So they exhibit what? Normal cells will exhibit what? Contact inhibition. That is, they arrest the multiplication of the cells. whenever they come in contact with each other. So that is the reason why there is no proliferation of cells or multiplication of cells. They exhibit what? As I said, they exhibit what? Contact inhibition. So cell division is a controlled phenomenon here. Abnormally it will not start multiplying. So there is a control over the process of cell division. Here cell division is uncontrolled. So there is no control of the cell division. Repeated mitotic cell division will take place, leading to what? Proliferation of cells, multiplication of cells, leading to what? Leading to the process of formation of tumor. Tumor is what? Mass, abnormal mass of cells. Abnormal mass of cells is called what? Cancerous cell. And they do not exhibit contact inhibition. That is a very, very important property which is not exhibited by the cancerous cells. So they don't arrest the cell growth. So they keep on multiplying and start invading the surrounding tissues, thereby disturbing the normal functioning of the other tissues or the other cells. So this is about the difference between a normal cell and a cancerous cell. So what is it? Normal cell division is a controlled phenomenon. Cell division is uncontrolled. Exhibit what? Contact inhibition. Do not exhibit contact inhibition. Healthy cell proliferation. Here you can see, as I said, normal cells will exhibit what? Contact inhibition. Contact inhibition. Here the cancerous cells will not exhibit contact inhibition. Right. So here you can see there is multiplication of cells, but the new cells, the old cells will die. They don't remain. So as soon as the new cells are formed, the old cells keep on dying, and there is a control in the phenomenon of cell division. So here you can see normal cells proliferation eventually stops. But here you can see in case of the cancerous cells, the cells with the damaged, here you can see the cells with normal DNA. As we know, DNA is nothing but a very, very important genetic material. So here you can see it will multiply, and see how the cancerous cells will start multiplying. And here you can see there is uncontrolled cellular growth. Here there is a control. So there is a barrier here. Here you can see a line. What does this line indicate? There is a control over the multiplication of cells. There is a control over cell division. But here there is no control over cell division. So how beautifully you can see in this picture the difference between a healthy cell and a cancerous cell. Here you can see that they exhibit contact inhibition and the multiplication of cells is inhibited by the adjacent cells. But here there is no, they do not exhibit contact inhibition, and the multiplication of cells will keep on, and then what will they do? It will start, they come out of the boundary here. They are within the boundary here. But here they come out of the boundary and will start invading the surrounding tissues. As I said, they start disturbing the normal functioning of the other organs, which is a very, very unique characteristic feature of cancer cells, and even a cancer person will die usually because of multiple organ failure. Because of this very important property of cancer cell to start invading the other organs. Next, what are the causes of cancer? As I said, the exact cause of cancer is not known till today. There are a number of multiple reasons for the cause of cancer, right? But I can say that it may be due to our lifestyle, or it may be due to our food habit, or maybe due to the exposure of our body to the environmental pollutants may be the cause of cancer. But as I said, the exact cause of cancer will not be known in case of cancer. But as I said, you can give a good number of reasons for the cause of cancer. Now let us discuss about the causes for cancer. So cancer may be caused by physical, chemical or biological agents. So we cannot tell that this is the exact reason why the person has got cancer. So it may be due to physical, chemical or biological agents. The agents which cause cancer are called carcinogens. Carcinogens. What are cancer causing cells? Cancer causing cells are called carcinogens. What the cancer causing genes are called oncogenes. Oncogenes. Cancer causing genes. I think if you come back to this here, this is called oncogene. Oncogene, that is cancer causing gene. Oncogene. Here you can see the oncogene, that is the cancer causing genes, are called oncogenes. And the study of cancer is called oncology. What is this branch of medicine? This is a branch of science which deals with the study of cancer and its types. There are a good number of types of cancer and its types, oncology. And the doctor who attends to only such cancer patient is called as an oncologist. Nephrologist is a doctor who takes care of the kidney problem. So here the doctor who takes care of the cancer patient is called as an oncologist, right? So as I said, what are the causes of cancer? Cancer may be caused by physical, chemical, or now anyhow in the next slide I am going to discuss about what are the physical carcinogens, what are chemical carcinogens, and what are biological carcinogens. What is carcinogen? The cancer causing cells are called carcinogens. Cancer causing cells are called carcinogens. Here you can see, as I said, you can give a good number of reasons for the cause of cancer. One is diet. Are we having a nutritious diet? Definitely not. Most of the people are dependent on junk foods, and maybe people are very choosy about their foods. Maybe that is the reason. Even the food habit might also be a cause for cancer. Then tobacco, smoking, definitely. So lung cancer is what? It is due to chewing of tobacco, which contains a toxic substance called what? Nicotine, right? Then other factors. So it might be like there are, so one we can say the food habits. Next is smoking, intake of tobacco, the main causes we can say. Then what are the other causes for cancer? Genetics. As I said, genetically, many doctors say that cancer is not heritable, but we have come across with many cases where the cancer is heritable. It passes on from one generation to another generation. But most of the doctors say that cancer is not heritable. So that I think we have to just look into it, right? So genetically, so maybe even it might be due to some hereditary reason also. The cancer may be passed on from one generation to another generation. And viral causes, like for example hepatitis B virus, then papilloma virus, all these are the causes for cancer. Then work environment, definitely. Suppose you might have come across people working in asbestos factory, cement factory, or silk factory. They come across with so many chemicals. So maybe that is also the reason, because every day they need to, for example, people working in radiation department, they need to wear a shield to protect their body from exposing to the dreadful UV rays like X-rays, but they don't do that. So maybe their body is exposed to dreadful rays. That is also work environment, right? Then alcohol, as I said, definitely alcohol also is one reason why even cause of cancer is quite possible. Then environmental pollution, definitely, like when we come across air pollution is increasing day by day, and the air what we are breathing is highly polluted. So that is also a reason why we may have some lung cancers and even skin cancer. And I think when our body is exposed to dreadful rays also, you get skin cancer. So all these are the causes for cancer. So as I said, exact cause for cancer cannot be given for this cancer, right? So what is the cause of cancer? Cancer may be caused by, what do you call the cancer causing cells as? Carcinogens. It may be caused by physical, chemical, or biological agents. And the cancer causing cells are called carcinogens. What are the causes for cancer? One is food habit, that is the diet. Second one is what? Tobacco. The other causes might be due to genetical, as I said, maybe it is passed on from from the parents to the children genetically, due to viruses and bacteria, viruses. Then the work environment, then consumption of alcohol. Some will be an alcohol addict, so every day they consume alcohol, and imagine what will happen to their body, right? Then the environmental pollution, where our body, as you know, human beings are part and parcel of this environment, and we are prone to environmental pollutants. Maybe that is also a cause of cancer. Now Now let us discuss about the different types of agents or the cancer causing cells, cancer causing agents. Cancer causing agents. Cancer causing agents are called what? Carcinogens. We can classify them into physical carcinogens, chemical carcinogens, and third, biological carcinogens. So what is the classification of carcinogens? We can classify them into three groups. First one is called physical carcinogens, second one is called chemical carcinogens, and third one is called biological carcinogens. As I said, this topic itself is not just for your study purpose, but the knowledge what you are going to gain by knowing about this, at least will be aware of how we can protect ourselves from this deadliest disease called cancer. And we should be quite careful about this disease, because as I said, prevention is better than cure, right? So what are the physical carcinogens? Like physical means what? Iodizing radiations like X-rays and gamma rays, and non-ionizing radiations like UV radiations cause cancer. Like people working in asbestos lab, people working in radiation department, right? So you might have come across even sunbath. I think in most of the countries you might have come across people having a sunbath. They expose their body to the sun rays. So even that also may be a reason for cause of skin cancer also. So when the body is exposed to deadliest radiations like X-rays and gamma rays and non-iodizing radiations like UV rays, then these radiations damage what? The DNA of a normal cell, and obviously turn it into neoplastic cell. What do you mean by neoplastic? That is, they start forming what? Abnormal mass of cells, leading to what? Tumor. Right? So what are physical carcinogens? Physical carcinogens may be the radiations like X-rays, gamma rays, and UV rays. What are these rays going to do? They are going to cause damage to the normal DNA and make the normal cell into a neoplastic cell. Thereby we can see that there is multiplication, uncontrolled growth of cells, leading to what? Formation of abnormal mass of cells called tumor. So this is about physical carcinogen. Moving across the chemical carcinogen. Definitely many cases you might have come across people are exposed to deadliest chemicals. Chemicals like nitrosamine, halogenated hydrocarbons, formaldehyde present in tobacco, that is tobacco smoke also. I think most of the people have the habit of smoking. Some are chain smokers. So what is it going to cause? It is going to cause lung cancer. So these are the chemicals, and tobacco smoking will cause what? Lung cancer. Then other chemicals like mustard gas, azodyes, vinyl chloride, all these are the chemicals. When the body is exposed to such chemicals, definitely the persons have the chances of getting this cancer. So these are all chemical carcinogens. Moving across the last but one agent, or you can call them as the cancer causing agents, that is biological carcinogens. The viruses which cause cancer are called oncogenic viruses. So the viruses which cause what? The cancer, they are called as what? Oncogenic viruses, which have viral oncogenes, have the capacity to cause a normal cell into a cancerous cell. Example, you can say human papilloma virus, then hepatitis B virus, then Rous sarcoma virus, cellular oncogenes present in the normal cells under what? Under certain conditions may cause cancer. So all these are the biological agents. So what are the physical carcinogens? Radiations like X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays cause what? All these radiations are going to cause damage to the DNA of a normal cell, turn the normal cell into neoplastic. And here the chemicals like nitrosamine, halogenated hydrocarbons, formaldehyde, these are the chemicals present in various forms. And tobacco smoking, that is also definitely is going to cause what? Lung cancer. The chemical substance that is found in the tobacco, that is nicotine, may also be a reason for cause of lung cancer. Other chemicals like mustard gas, azodyes, vinyl chloride, all these are the other chemicals which is responsible for cause of cancer. Moving across the last but one, that is the biological carcinogen, that is the viruses, which biological means what? the agent, the living organism, like viruses has an intermediate position, right? It can be called as non-living as well as living. When it is inside the body of the host, it starts multiplication, and as I said, it is one of the very unique living characteristic of virus. So they are called as what? Oncogenic viruses, which have viral oncogenes. Example for this viral oncogenes, that is oncogenic viruses: human papilloma virus, hepatitis B virus, Rous sarcoma virus. Cellular oncogenes which are present in the normal cells may also cause what? Cancer. So these are all the different carcinogens. Now, treatment of cancer. Definitely, I think the person who is having cancer should not lose hope. But the only problem is that any disease need to be diagnosed at the earliest. So, diagnosing the disease is very, very important. The early, the better. See, as I said, many people will hesitate to go to a doctor if at all they come across with certain symptoms or some abnormalities in the body. They hesitate to go to a doctor thinking that, oh, doctor might tell that you have so and so disease. But the very problem is they need to approach a doctor at the earliest, then only proper treatment can be given. So what are the treatments for cancer? Definitely there are like if it is there are many cases where many people have overcome this cancer when it is diagnosed at the earliest and the proper treatment is given. So what are the types of treatment that is given for the cancer people? So the following are the common approaches for treatment of cancer. Number one, that is surgery. Definitely. So surgery is one very important treatment for cancer. Next is radiation therapy. Third one is chemotherapy. This is a very common word which you might have come across in a cancer patient undergoing this treatment. Therapy means what? Treatment. Then immunotherapy, and last but one is gene therapy. So all these are the 5 are the different types of treatment which is given for a cancer person. So what is surgery? Suppose, as I said, malignant tumors are the tumors which will start spreading or invading the surrounding tissues, damaging the other tissues. So once they come across that a malignant tumor, then it can be immediately removed by surgery. So surgically, if they remove that particular tumor, then definitely there are chances of overcoming this cancer disease, right? So through surgery. Right. Next, radiation therapy. Irradiation of tumor cells without affecting the surrounding. So they pass on through certain radiations which is not going to affect the surrounding normal cells, but it is going to kill only the cancerous cells. So that radiation therapy is definitely going to help the cancer patients to overcome that disease. So what is this radiation therapy? So radiations are passed on to that particular cancerous cells or a tumor, so that, and care is taken that it is not going to affect the normal cells. So the normal cells will not be affected with this radiation therapy. Therapy means what? Treatment. Radiation means passing through the rays. Next, chemotherapy, the very word. Chemotherapeutic drugs are used to kill the cancerous cells. This is a very common treatment which is given to a cancer. So they are kept on a chemotherapy where drugs or medicines are given, and those medicines is going to kill the cancerous cells, and it will inhibit the multiplication or proliferation of cells. So it is going to inhibit the proliferation of cells. Next, immunotherapy. So the patients are given substances called biological response modifiers such as interferons. You might have come across, like we have come across the physical like innate immunity, where barriers are going to develop what? Immunity in a body, like one such called interferons, right? So which you might have also studied that interferons are given for what? For treatment of cancer, which activates the immune system and helps in destroying the tumors. So this is also very, very important. So usually in a cancer patient, the immunity will start declining. So in order to boost their immunity, so interferons are given. So those interferons is going to develop immunity into the body, thereby the cancer people can overcome that particular disease. So destroying what? Tumor. So it will help in the inhibiting of the multiplication of the cells. Not only that, it is going to destroy the tumor. So this is also one very important treatment which is given for a cancer patient. And last but one is gene therapy. This is a very important therapy. As I said, there is advancement made in the field of science and technology, particularly in the field of medicine, where transformation of cells to produce anti-tumor substances called TNF. TNF is called tumor necrosis factor. So transformation of certain cells to produce what? Anti-tumor substances, so that it will not multiply. So it will inhibit the multiplication of cells. So most of the cancers are treated with the combination of surgery, radiation therapy and chemotherapy. So commonly, what are the combinations of treatment which is given for a cancer patient? Combination of surgery, radiation and chemotherapy. So all these are the very useful treatment which is given for a cancer patient. So what is it? So what are the approaches for the treatment of cancer? One is surgery, that is removal of malignant tumors by surgery. Second one is radiation therapy, where radiations will be passed on only to those tumor cells or cancerous cells, killing them but not affecting the neighboring cells. Then chemotherapy, this is a very common type of treatment given to a cancer patient, where chemotherapeutic drugs are used to kill the cancerous cells. Next, immunotherapy, that is biological response modifiers are given to the person, like interferons, which is going to activate the immune system and helps. Not only it is going to activate the immune system, it is also going to destroy the tumor. Then the gene therapy. So what is the gene therapy means? What? Transformation. Therapy means what? Treatment. So here, transformation of the gene itself to produce what? Anti-tumor substances called TNF. TNF is what? Expand TNF, tumor necrosis factor. So most of the cancers are treated with a combination of what? Surgery, radiation therapy and chemotherapy. Hope you have understood all the concepts what I have explained in today's session. As I said, today's session is a very important session to know more about this very dreadful, deadliest disease, you can call it as cancer. And we have come across many cases where people die because of cancer. As I said, the exact cause of cancer is not known. Maybe that is also a reason why we are not much aware about how to prevent ourselves from getting affected with this deadliest disease called cancer. So we already come across what are the types of cancer tumor. As I said, cancer is nothing but what? Unlimited mass of cells, unlimited growth of cells, or proliferation of cells leading to what? Abnormal growth of cells called tumor. Tumor are of two types, benign tumor and malignant tumor. So which is more harmful? Malignant tumor is more harmful when compared to benign tumor, as the malignant tumor will not remain localized. It will start spreading and invading the surrounding tissues. Then we also came across what are the causes of cancer. May it be the work environment, or may it be the diet, or may it be the genetical reasons. There are good even the environmental pollutants may also be the cause for cancer. And definitely, as I said, cancer can be treated. It is not like a disease which cannot be treated. It can be treated. Any disease can be treated. Only thing is it needs to be diagnosed at the earliest, and proper medication and treatment should be taken. So any disease as such, if it is diagnosed at the earliest and proper treatment or medication is given at the right time, definitely overcoming the disease is not at all a problem, right? So hope you have understood all the important concepts what I have explained in today's session. And in the coming session, which is the last session of this very important chapter called Human Health and Diseases, we are going to discuss about a very important concept called drugs and alcohol abuse, particularly about the narcotic drugs and about alcohol. As I said, narcotic drugs and the different types of narcotic drugs. Even the knowledge of this definitely is going to help particularly the younger generation, knowing that what will be the after effects if you go to such narcotic drugs. The life itself will be like a hell. So if at all they start consuming all this narcotic drugs, and even if a person is alcohol addict, so how to overcome all these problems, all that I am going to discuss in this particular session. So I'll be meeting you all in the coming session with some more concepts of this chapter, remaining concepts of this very important chapter, right? Till then, goodbye and thank you.